Hello, David. Numero uno today. Oh, you did. Emmanuel, hola. ¿Cómo está? How was New Mexico, David? Was it pleasure or business? Ah. Yeah, it must be hot in Texas around this time. I remember, I think I shared that with you guys. I was invited to a wedding in 2007, September, Houston. That sure was really hot. Just waiting for the taxi for a bit from my hotel, which doesn't take long because they call the taxi, but just that few minutes from the door of the hotel to get into the taxi was really hot and humid too. Wasn't pleasant. So I'm glad that you had some good and cooler temperature. Wow, 107. 107, that's like 40 degrees centigrade, I guess. Is it? F minus 100, what is it? F minus 32 over 180 equals C over 100. So C to 180 C, 100 F minus 32, 107 minus 32 is 105, and 30, 75, 75 over 180, that's 32 and a half, and 90, that's 90 C equals 3200, and C equals 3200 by 90. 3200 by 90, 320, that's like 35, 36 degrees Celsius. Wow! That's bloody hot. Let's see. Well, I don't have my calculator with me to do it accurately, but 42 sounds more accurate than 34, my original assumption. My calculation was all just rounded up, approximate in my head. So Atul, namaste, dear. Roxana, long time no see. Where have you been? Robertas, good to see you, dear. Rob from London. And Rodfather is hot here in New York, he says. And I think it's a he, because I can't see the picture. Don't you guys forget the protocol, you know? When you put in a question, at least, when you put a question in, I want to know where you're tuning in from, how old you are, and if you're a man or a woman. David says it's about 42 cents. Yeah, you could be right. That's scorching hot. Behavik, it's a hi from Netherlands. Hello, dear. Good to see you. Good to see Netherlands joining us more and more. Roberta says, Mehran, I sometimes feel that somebody has put a curse of magic on me. Don't we all? Feel the same. There's magic in the air. But it's the expertise of ours to move away from the shitty magic and focus on what brings us that good energy. Align us with the good energy that's flowing throughout the universe. And that comes through understanding how we can become one with the energy of the universe through meditation, through understanding that there is a tremendous power flowing through, and we can be part of that. And all those that you think negative or magical bullshit, negative energy or curse and all that, they can all be washed away when your powers are stronger. When you align yourself with the universal energy and understand the flow of the universal energy through everything that exists in this world, including you, and you be able to feel that and direct that, as Obi-Wan Kenobi said in Star Wars, it binds us, holds us together, but we are able to control it. If we can understand that relationship and become this stronger river that flows forward, so when it interacts with the smaller river, when the stronger river is going this way and interacts with the smaller river, well, the one that is going to be stronger flow is going to fold the other one and overcome it. So do not let negativity in life to become that stronger river to fold you over and you become the smaller river. You got to be the strongest flow. And for that, you got to align yourself with the energy of the universe and create that understanding and oneness to be one with the nature's power and flow on that key, on that energy. Therefore, all these things that you think curse and this and that, so forth, well, all whether true or not, they all become simply a trickle river and you will overcome it. It can't withstand in front of the mighty power of the universe, which helps everything grow and develop. And that's what you should be focusing on, not the shit that you think is a curse or this and that or bad luck or whatever. Do your best on this way and then reap the benefits, and that is that. So let me finish that question anyhow. Now that I've answered it without really reading the rest of it, but let's see. How to make myself not to let those thoughts to get to me of like, oh, well, then you can see I already answered it. As I feel that girls who dislike me put curse. No, there's no bullshit of that curse or any kind of nonsense like that. It's all in your mind. You create your own curse by believing that there is such a thing, creating that illusion, then believing the illusion that you created and turning that illusion into actuality. You see, thought wants to replace actuality. That's why you got to understand when to take the thought out of consciousness. Because depending on what your consciousness is being programmed or you made yourself to think, that is where your the source is, and you believe in it, then when you move your thoughts out of your consciousness, then there is no such bullshit around. It's all purity. That's why you need to understand that connection that I told you about between you and the universal energy, and learn how to meditate. Free your mind from the garbage that attaches to your mind all throughout the day, and become pure with the energy of the universe, which clean you out. And when you come out of the meditation, you feel so clean and slippery that no bullshit sticks on you, and you feel smooth and flowing through the energy, one with the power of the universe, and positive and powerful and confident, because you're one with the nature. And no greater power exists than the universal energy itself. So when you align yourself with that, when you feel that way, through decreasing the ripples of your mind, through meditation, through taking your thoughts out of your consciousness, and then you feel wonderful as one with the source. And that's when not too many things, if anything, can touch you. And that anything is actually your own belief. And when your own belief, your consciousness is clear and free and clean, there's no bullshit that you can actually think that illusion can be a reality. And you'll be free of that. He continues, says, because sometimes I feel like I don't even like my friends. Well, you have the right to not like them, just as you do to like them. So like the good ones and move away from the bad ones. I want to be alone. And once I'm alone, I feel afraid that I'm alone because I don't feel like I make right decisions. Ah, come on now. You're going through a temper tantrum. You want attention. You want everybody to like you. And you don't have the patience to make something out of yourself and then choose correctly. And then you will see the ones that you've chosen correctly will like you. And if they didn't, you wouldn't be bothered, because you've come to conclusion that you have become somebody of decent value and accomplishments and understanding and somehow alignment and compatibility, harmony with the universe. So therefore, you're not so needy about somebody liking you anymore, because you have become naturally comfortable with understanding what life is all about, what universal nature is all about, what being one with the nature is all about. Therefore, you're not so needy of clinging to someone and getting someone's affirmation and friendship in order to feel good about yourself, because you have understood that you can feel good about yourself by simply living, being part of the movement of life, of universe, being that fragment of life that completes life, understanding your place, that you have an important place in this puzzle of life as fragment, as one of those pieces of that whole puzzle. And when you understand that, then you don't need other puzzles to affirm you in order to feel that, oh, I'm part of this. Well, you are. And that should be enough for you to feel good about yourself, and don't keep running after, I gotta have friends to feel good about myself. No, you can feel good about yourself by how you treat and negotiate life and accomplish and do things that you want to accomplish and do. And the friends are just simply gravy, byproducts. If they're good, you keep them. If they're not, you move away. That's it. You're not dependent on friends. And who are they? You think that they're better than you. They're also looking for someone to affirm them. So what do you say about that? You made something out of them in your head that, oh, I gotta have them. Who are them? Them are you. You're all the same, having same problems and challenges, same shit, same things you gotta deal with. So deal with what you gotta deal with, not finding others who have to deal with the same things you got to deal with to tell you, oh, you're okay, because they want to feel okay. And just go do your thing, accomplish your things. That will make you be fine and confident and okay. Then friends will come around. All right. Emmanuel says, hi Mehran, thanks for being back. How can we avoid being racist knowing that certain bad behavior are attributed to specific races. That's not correct. Are you replacing the word race for individual human beings? How could you say, because my skin color is as it is, or the shape of my eyes or nose is the way it is, due to a background, a race that I come from, then that represents my consciousness. Because we all know and discussed in the other videos how consciousness is put together. It's a product of religions and beliefs and customs and traditions and tribalism and all these other beliefs and things that I've read and things that have come across in my life, and everything else that I have experienced and come exposed to in my life, and treatments I received from teachers and parents and siblings and friends, and rules and regulations and dogmas. Everything has created and conditioned my consciousness. What does that have to do with the way I look? I could have looked any way and still be conditioned and affected by that same stuff that I just talked to you that makes our consciousness. You take a Chinese boy to Iran, or take the Iranian boy to Japan and raise them there, regardless of how they started, by the way they looked, because where they come from and the race, they become, the Chinese one will become in Iranian mentalities. Consciousness would be built in that society, and the Iranian kid would have his consciousness built in Japanese society, and so on and so forth. So what does an individual, who individual is the consciousness, the center, the me of me is me, what does that have to do with how I look? Nobody expresses emotion by the way they look. Nobody behaves the way they do because of the way they look. Nobody thinks the way they do, feel the way they do because of their look. Oh, the person who's got a nose like that would definitely feel this way if he or she is encountering this situation. Or will feel this way or that way because he or she is eating this candy or this food. Or it will feel and react in this particular way when he or she will encounter or sees this kind of a situation. That look has nothing to do with the way we act, because we are not what we look. We are our consciousness. And the consciousness has nothing to do with the race. So the behavior of a certain people that you say they behave this way is individual. It's based on how they've been put together, what their values are, and what they have come to be. That should take care of that bullshit question of racism. Because it is you who think anybody who looks in a certain way or has a certain color, therefore, would be representing a certain mentality or certain way of behaving or doing things. That's not correct. We can all come. Look, in a city of the same country, in one city, in the same country, so many people live. Every one of them have different consciousnesses, let alone if they come from different countries. Now, you want to tell me just because they all come from one same geographical area, then that means their inner self and their psyche is also put together the same way. No, maybe their color and face and so on could be some similarities. Your curly hair or straight hair, lighter color skin or darker color skin, that could have something to do with the genes and, of course, the race that they come from. But what they are actually, as a human being, developed and grow to be, has nothing to do with how they look. In one little block, there are people all different in a consciousness, let alone a city, let alone a country, and let alone a race. So, that business of because they come from a certain background, therefore they will are responsible for certain behavior, all of them, that's bullshit. Look at different countries in the world. So many different people of different looks live in that country. Are you telling me the ones who have almond-shaped eyes are all thinking the same way, and the ones who have a different kind of looking eyes or nose all thinking the same way? Or the ones who look Chinese but they live in Netherlands, they will be thinking like the one who look Chinese but they live in Mongolia or China? And no. They each have their own individuality depending on what they have been exposed to and what environment they've been raised in. So in a country that they have all kinds of people coming from different backgrounds, Chinese background, Japanese background, Iranian background, American background, French background, German background, all live in the same country. Are you telling me because they come from a different race, they don't share all similar values in that country that they live in because they look different, their race is different, so therefore even though they grew up in that same country, a same kind of a culture, they still would be thinking the way that some of their ancestors did when they were living in China or Iran or Germany or Japan or French or wherever their ancestors came from? Of course not. So the way you look has nothing to do with the way you behave. It has to do with your consciousness. And that is what is common among all of us, and yet similar but different. And that's what makes us different, not our looks, not our skin colors. Now, let's move on. David, male 23 Dallas, Texas, yes. So everybody, while I'm looking for the next question, please go and like this stream if you like it. If you like it so far, and like this stream. The Rodfather says, I'm done, or done, or done, D-O-N, or Dan, done. Male, 36 years old from New York. Okay, good. Now I know. Roberta says, Mehran, how do you get the good energy when feeling alone? Because you are focusing on you being the energy source. You got to focus on universe being energy source. It's like being in front of the ocean and not thinking about ocean, thinking that you are that drop. You are the source of what you are. If you're a drop of the ocean, a drop of water in the ocean, you are part of the ocean. You are not the source of water. You are part of that body of water. You're a drop of that ocean water in the ocean. But if you don't recognize that you are part of a bigger thing, the source is the ocean, not you, which is a drop of it that you're thinking. You're in the ocean, say, oh, I am the ocean, I'm the water, but I feel alone. Because you're thinking about your inwardness, thinking about outwardness. Where is the source? What you're part of. Not that if I don't recognize similar things around me, like other human beings in a crowded place, then that means I'm alone. Because you think then your connection with the world is only through your physical being. Your connection and your livelihood and everything that you are is connected to the source, to the energy of the universe that is flowing, keeping everything alive and creates things. It's not about you being among other animals or other humans that then you feel, oh, I'm among myself, so I'm not alone, because I'm only feeling secure when I am with people who look like me, which they're the same people who actually could be malicious, it could be negative, could be harming you. Just because they look like you, that doesn't mean they're good people. So your loneliness shouldn't be because you're not with the kind of people that you identify with as similar looks. You should focus on what your real connection is, what you are part of. Before you're part of this pack, before you're part of this group of species, you're part of the bigger thing, which is the whole thing that has created the whole species, the energy of the universe. That's what you should focus on. Then you will never feel alone. Doesn't matter if you're in a group, you have a girlfriend or you don't, and you have friends or you don't, you still feel connected because you're part of this big puzzle that makes everything go around. So you are very important because you are part of what makes everything go around. You are part of the universe. Don't forget that. You're thinking you're alone and you don't understand what your real part and role in this life is. That's why you feel alone. Look bigger. You're very important. You have caused and changed and affected many things without you even knowing. Just because of being here. Just because I have been chosen to be here in this universe. Part of this way of life as we know it. And so, if you focus on that, you will know you're never alone. But we've been conditioned to think that we are alone. If I don't have this, if I don't go to a movie, if I don't go to a disco, if I don't have friends to go ha 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 and bar and drink, if I don't have a girlfriend, if I don't have this or that or this car and that, then I am alone. No, you're conditioned to think that way. You came to this world, but what? By friends? And you had a girlfriend when you came out of your mom's womb? What? You're part of a group? You came alone, but you weren't alone. You were part of something, the energy that you were created and put in a different environment to learn. But you're never alone. You didn't come from nothing. You came from energy. And that energy that you were part of, you're still part of. Think about that. And we go on. They're rough. Been 4 months of no contact with ex. I still think about her constantly. You should. Again, you forgot to tell me where you're tuning in from, if you're a man or a woman, and how old you are. You see, guys, stop. Help me stop saying that. I gotta know all these things if I want to respond better. So I'm gonna move on until I get that question. I come back to you when I see that information. First Last says, hello from India. Hello. Jessica Tan says, hi Mehran, have been busy with school. Jessica, good to see you, but remind me where you're tuning in from and how old you are. Just to be fair, I'm going to move on to the next. Anybody who has a question and doesn't tell me where are they tuning in from, how old they are, if they're a man or a woman, I'll move on with love and I'll come back. Not as a punishment, but as something that I want to help me to respond better. Jesse Schmitz, good evening, good Abend, from Netherlands. Oh, Netherlands. Oh, but perhaps you speak German too, don't you? I know you don't. You speak Dutch, right? It could be close enough. So Atul says this question is sent you in mail. I'm 26. I met a girl online who lives near to my place. I told a lie about me when we met online. I never thought that we would be best friends. I'll just tell her you lied and clean it up. Also felt good with her, but always feared that I had lied to her. She started liking me as soon as I realized it. I told her the truth about myself. What was the lie? You're keeping us in suspense. Because I did not want her to remain in the dark of lies, and I was afraid that she will go away from me, she has gone. And now I want to talk to her eagerly. Well, you'll learn not to lie next time. Be proud of yourself. What's there to lie? See, you're not telling me anything. Just, you know, don't ask me questions when you don't give me enough detail. I can't help. First last says Annie 28 girl. Thank you. Roop Jessica. Raf says Mark from UK. Mark from UK. And how old you are, Mark? Raf is Mark from UK, and first last is Annie 28 years. Okay, let's go to Raf. Raf. Raf says, been 4 months of no contact with ex. I still think about her constantly. All right. Any man would think about his ex for many months, as long as she was the most recent intimacy, a relationship with feelings that you were in. So that's not bad, that's normal. The problem is, I don't find other girls attractive. Of course you don't. You know, it's like, I'm gonna go piece by piece. It's like I have a spaghetti in front of me, and I have it in front of my eyes, in the plate in front of me, and I'm smelling it, and sometimes I nibble on it. And then you expect to like this, pay attention to this other dish that for the first time you're seeing it. Well, obviously, you know how this one tastes. You've had it before. You know how it smells. You're familiar with it. You like it. And it's known to you. It brings certain psychological security. It triggers certain thoughts of memory of how you enjoyed eating this before in different circumstances and different happy moments of your life. You remember. This all triggers. And mind, thoughts, seeks a refuge and security in order. And by this mechanical process, reminding yourself of the stuff that you used to do when you were having a spaghetti before, it creates a reminiscence of a certain way of things were done, were being, a certain order. And in that order, you find, your mind finds relaxation and home, a security. It finds its home in thoughts that reminds you of certain way certain things were, mechanical process, the things you were doing. And that creates a certain order for you. And that order gives you calmness and security and feeling good. It's a half-assed way of explaining to you what I explained in the other videos about how mind finds its calmness and security and why it sticks to memory. Because it creates order for it. And that's pretty much the same, as rough as this explanation was, but that tells you why your propensity is to keep looking at the spaghetti, even if you can't have it. Even if you're behind a restaurant's window on the street and there are mock-ups of food, you will be drawn to look at, pay attention to the plate of food behind the window that you know about, the spaghetti. You will not pay attention to this one that you don't know about, even though it could be far more delicious. The same thing with the girls that you think, oh, I don't like any other girls, because you're not paying attention to them. You're constantly thinking about this. You may be looking at them, but the image you have in your mind, which is, you know, coming over every other things that you're seeing, is the past, is the other girl. And therefore you don't see these new girls with the eye of the now. You're looking at them by simply directing your eyes toward them, but the picture that is in your brain is not coming from the reflection of this object to your eyes. It's coming from the reflection of pictorial memory of your ex in your memory, what you have of her. So pretty much you're like a zombie. You look at them, but really you're looking at them with the eye, your eyes. You can see those trees, you can recognize seeing things moving, but the actual what reflected and what you're really seeing and paying attention to is the pictorials from your memory. So there are double pictures here, and one of them is got emotions attached to it. So guess which one you're paying attention to? You see all these things moving, these cars and so on, but you're thinking about a certain vacation that you had, and you were driving by the beach in this car and with your friends. And even though you recognize there's something here, but you're totally consumed with the images of the memory that you have of other things, which includes emotions, which gives you enough reason to stay there, feel more comfortable, because it's known, it's familiar, and it's got some character to it, some file, some information, where there's no information on these other things you're watching. They're just there. Like these other girls, you're looking at them, but you're seeing your ex, the intimacy, the things you guys did, all the lovey-doveys, and you totally have forgotten about all the shit that was going on. That's why it's not, you guys are not together. You only think about the good parts. So you're really not seeing. So bottom line is focus on the girls, focus on the now, live the moment, be with the moment, focus and pay full attention to the moment, because that is the actuality. What you're boggled up with is with illusion, something that no longer exists. And so if that's how you want to live, that's your choice. Live while you're actually not living. Live with the illusion. That's what you want your companion to be. Go for it. See where it's going to get you. Obviously, it's 4 months got you nowhere. You're exactly where you started from. So cut the rope, start paddling strong, and let your boat go into the ocean and find other wonderful islands where you can, dock and enjoy, learn new things. How do you know these girls that you say you're not attractive to? What happens? When you see these new girls, your dick doesn't exist anymore, you're no longer a man, you don't like a woman anymore. You're still you still got a penis, you still got your genes, you still got your hormones, but unless you pay attention to what you're looking at, you can't even function as appropriate to what it is that you're in contact with. So it is not about just you facing a woman, it's about you allowing yourself to interact with that person, get to know that person, create memories and interaction and conversation, and get to know her consciousness, and of course then you can see you are attracted to her or not. Otherwise it's like me saying, well, I can't see that over there, I can't see that over there. Well, because you're not looking at it. Look at it and get involved with it, and then you enter the game. Let's say you want to play soccer, and you say you're standing outside the field. Say, I'm not playing, I can't play. Why I can't play? Because you're standing out here. Go inside the field, run after the ball, get involved, and you will see how it feels. Then you can say if you like soccer or you don't. Otherwise, just sitting outside, say, oh, I don't like this game, because you didn't allow yourself to interact with the game. I don't like these girls, because you didn't allow yourself to get to know them. Just thinking about some illusory girl for some reason, because that was the most recent girl you were intimate with or knew with some emotions, and you're not willing to separate yourself to get yourself into new situations and find more about these wonderful other opportunities and women out there. So you're robbing yourself out of opportunities, and don't feel sorry for yourself. You're to blame. Move on. She was no anomaly. It was just another girl. Didn't work out? Okay, you tried. Now, next. And he says, I don't find them attractive because they're not here. Okay, we answered that. I've joined a new gym, lost weight, and met new people. Good for you. That's a good start. Trying to move on, but still emotionally. No. You're emotionally attached to what? You're emotionally attached to bullshit, to non-existent. Attach yourself to something real. And if that doesn't work, then attach yourself to something other. When things don't exist, with your relationship with your ex doesn't exist anymore, what kind of attachment is that? Attached to what? To your memories. And the memories are dead, don't exist. So you attach yourself to dead. So your living becomes a dead living. Is that what you want? Then stay there, because that's where you're going to end up. Just there. No movement. So hear me out with love and use them. Jessica. Let's see if Jessica give me an answer. Let's go to first last. Annie 28 girl. Jessica 21 Singapore. Okay, thank you. Raf 34. Okay. Well, I expect more from you, Raf, at this age. Get your act together. Move on. Be kind to yourself. Don't live between a woman's leg. Move on. You will find other opportunities, and you will see that's not the only place. Don't live in your mind. Live among the living. And the living is movement. Movement is new emotions. Go for it. Find them. Appreciate other women that you meet. Pay attention to them, because they're the one who deserve your attention, not the one who's left you. What's wrong with you? All right. So let's go back to Jesse. Good evening from Netherlands. Hello, Jesse. We already... Jessica. Jessica says, hi, Mehran. I have been busy with school, and your live timing was 4 to 5 a.m. here, so I can't catch it. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, dear. But I have to sleep now. Good night. Have a nice day ahead. Okay. After all that, I thought it was a question. You didn't have to tell me your age. You could just say good night. Okay, all right. Let's see. What else is here? First, last, hello from India. Hello, dear. And Atul says, this question is sent to you. I'm 26 years. I met a girl online who lives near my place. I told a lie. Okay, I see. We talked about that. Online who lives near to my place. I told a lie about me when we met online. I never thought that. Okay, what lie was it? We talked about this already. Because of moving my apartment, I broke up with my girlfriend. Then I regretted and agreed to move to her house. We get back together. I'm totally confused. You gotta explain it in sequence, so I know what you're saying. After 3 weeks, she broke up because the first breakup. Let's see, am I mixed up with two different people here? Also felt good with her, but always feared that I had... Oh, these are two different questions. Okay, Atul says, I'm 26, and okay, we talked about Atul. So let's go talk to Jiri Kuhutek, who hasn't told me where he's tuning in from, how old he is, if you're a man or woman, because I can't see all this. Okay, there it is. 29, Czechoslovakia. And all right, now we can go back to Jiri. Jiri says, hi. Because of moving from my apartment, I broke up with my girlfriend. That's it? That was your reason? You moving, you break up with your girlfriend? Then I regretted and I agreed to move to her house. We got back together. Okay? So far, wishy-washy. That's what we call you, right? Wishy-washy. You do things without really thinking through. You do things because you have something, you don't appreciate it enough because you have it. Because you're probably one of those people who think because you have something, it is you who could have it, then that thing must not be important because you don't think of yourself important. So when you don't think of yourself important, whatever you attain and you gain, you don't think that's important. And that's why you keep moving on to another thing. You know, you think, oh, maybe I should go, I should find something else. You're trying to seek and find your importance in other things. And when you find them, you think, well, they're not important because I'm not important, so my choice is not important. So you don't like them. You change. But you have to start liking yourself first. First, find yourself. See who you are. Accomplish tasks. Become proud of yourself. Become confident. Then, when you choose something, you will like that something because you liked yourself. And you say, that something comes from me, my choice. And I believe in myself. I'm decent. I figure out things. I've gained wisdom. I'm not stupid. I choose well. Therefore, you gain respect for that what you have chosen. That's number one. Let's see the rest. After 3 weeks, she broke up because the first breakup broke something in her and she doesn't feel love from me. Yeah, she was rejected for no reason. Because you rejected yourself in your mind, then everything that you had, you rejected them because you thought, well, how could they be important when I don't think important about myself to be important? And now he says, I regret the day which I offered the first breakup. Okay, well, that teaches you to think before you do something. You know, like people who go and, you know, use drugs. They don't think about what's going to do to them. All they think about, oh, pleasure, I'm going to feel good. Yeah, you're going to feel good, but you're going to feel like shit and fuck up your life because you didn't think about how it will be when that initial so-called feeling good is gone away. And what's the cost of that feeling good? Is a cost of deteriorating yourselves and fucking up your inside because you're going to feel good. Well, not everything that feels good is good for you. That's a given. So, same thing here. And Judy says, I can't take guilty off me, and it haunts me like the reason. Now you want to feel like a victim. You've done the shit, you've caused the problem because of the reason I talked. Now you want somebody to feel sorry for you. No, grow up, grow a pair and take responsibility. And if you really love her, go and act by showing how much you care about her by acting it. I don't know, go her, hold her in your arm, tell her like you made a mistake because you're a fool. Or tell her, look, listen, how can I make it up to you? To prove to you that I was not mature enough. And I thought of you as thought of myself. Meaning, I didn't believe in myself, therefore I start thinking the same about you. But I can see now that I can grow with you and together we can build something good. I want to believe in myself because I've chosen the best girl that there is. And that tells me I'm not stupid. I used to think that I'm not good, therefore what I chose is not good. But now that I can see what I chose is the right thing, is the good thing, then that makes me feel that I am a good thing. That's a masterpiece. I coined this. Now go use it and see if you can get it back. Now, go now. And go on my site, mindthat6truth.com, and get me, my Psyche, and I. They'll teach you something. And it's very cheap. Don't worry. I'm not going to get rich. But just got to have one of those books. And now let's go to... Atul says, but something stops me to do this. What, to tell her the truth? Don't. What else do you got to lose? You already fucked it up by lying. Now you think telling the truth, what else can it do? Still, she's left, right? So at least you get it out of your system and you will feel good about yourself a little bit. You forgive yourself and go on. You haven't killed anybody. Just don't be too harsh on yourself. Dinesh says, thank you for your videos. You're welcome, Dinesh. Promote this channel, guys. Promote this channel. First of all, click on the like right now before you forget. And do make a goddamn effort, promote this channel. We have content second to none. You all say it. But I gotta see some help from you guys. Without you guys, this channel cannot reach other people and help many other people, which I'm sure you would want other people also to be helped. If you find wisdom in the things that you learn here, if you find open path, clarity when you come to this channel, then bloody well promote it. Let the channel to be known. We've got, you all know, we've got shitty garbage channels out there that have got 4, 5, 6, 7, 800,000 subscribers. And you tell me that this channel is superior to anything and it's not even in the same league. It's got contents are deep and helpful, life-changing. These are the things you guys tell me. Then help it to grow by sharing it on social media. If you got contacts in any news outlet, whatnot, let them know about the channel or some pieces that you like about it. Introduce it to them, send it to them. Let us get known. Now, moving on. Nilesh says, I am in infatuation and she knows and I want it to be over. I'm addicted to her. I am suffering from limerence and it's stressful. Well, you're infatuated because you want to be infatuated. You think that solves your problem. You think infatuation is smart. You think infatuation is success. You think she's better than you. Well, look at her. She's another human being. How could she elevate you to levels that you haven't elevated yourself? What is she bringing to the table? A magical wand making you rich or healthier or smarter or whatever it is that you want to accomplish? Is she going to do that for her? Then be infatuated. If not, then it is only you who have created something out of her that she's not, and now you're following that what you created, which she's not, which means you're really infatuated by your own mind. You're infatuated with your own mind. Understand that and then go after real life and make yourself smart, make yourself capable, make yourself accomplish things that you want to accomplish, and then you will see not so easily other things, including this woman or other women, look better than you, and you will not easily be infatuated by them. They have to have something more than turning you on. And I don't know how old you are, but usually men who like women, they get turned on just by the sight of a beautiful woman. So being infatuated by a woman is no big deal. But the problem is the answer is you gotta go and build something out of yourself so you won't so easily think you're nothing and any other woman and any woman out there who's beautiful is everything, therefore she's better than you, and then you will be attracted to her. Make yourself better, elevate yourself in life, accomplish yourself, then you will feel more valuable by yourself, more confident by yourself. Then you will not be so easily thinking that these women that you see are better than you just because they turn you on. And that's enough for most of us boys to have that illusory belief that they're better than, they have something more than you, but they don't. They're just stimulating your desire. And when your desire is stimulated, you think, she's better than me. And you listen to her crap, you listen to whatever she says, and all you're thinking is, oh, she's so divine. No, because you're not really with it. You're gone zombie. You're focused on the intimacy and the whole pleasure that you're focused on, the desire that you have for intimacy with her, and you can't even see what she is. So build yourself up, make yourself to become somebody in life, accomplish things, become confident, and then you will not so easily impressed and not easily infatuated, or if you are, you will be easily able to move on and snap out of it. See her for what she is, not what you have made out of her in your mind, and then you'll be fine. Now, Roop Singh says, "Hey sir, always nice to hear from you. Well, life is full of problems. Mine rounds over relationship. I started feeling like an emotional fool during doing mistakes of learning, but in the end, getting nothing." I need more than that. Let's see. There it is. "I believe in God," Roop says, "and have faith that something good will happen." Really? You think if you sit on your ass just because you believe in something that you believe and you believe that is God, then therefore that's enough for that God to give you what you want, something good? So that means you left your faith that you say you have, you give your faith to something that you made out of your mind, and that's your God, and you're waiting for your faith, which is not you, it's something you made out of your mind, to give you what you can only give yourself, which is a good life, a good situation. You can keep your faith, whatever helps you to be a better person, no problem. That's good. But you can't leave it up to that what you believe that you want to worship to give you what you don't move your ass to get it yourself. So in other words, you want your God to do everything for you. Did you say you believe in your God, or is it your servant? Is it your God, or is it your gopher? Is it your God, or is it your butler that you want it, him, whatever it is they call your God, to bring something good for you? That feeling of believing your God should give you motivation to go out there and build. Take off the mountain, find the jewels in it. That should be a motivation, not a reason for you to sit on your ass for it to provide for you. He says, but in current scene, despite living busy schedule, I feel emotionally drowned, unstable, especially sleep deprivation, because you're waiting. You're waiting for your God to give you something. So you're saying, okay, I'm waiting. I'm going to be a good boy and worship and waiting and do nothing. Get off your ass, go learn a trade or study or get something that it is that you need to research and learn and make efforts and build things, because that's what the meaning of believing in God is. God is a representation of yourself. The belief that you want to be a better person, that's God. That you want to reach a higher ground, higher moralities, higher values. That happens in you. That's supposed to be a motivation for you to set a goal and reach it. You can't set a goal and then sit on your ass and hope that the goals will come to you. You've picked your faith, picked your God. That's your motivation. That's your set of values that you have chosen to have. Now start moving toward it by making efforts, building the life that is deserving of someone like you who believes in good things and divine things, so to speak. I'm not saying that I approve or disapprove. I'm just saying what you are and what you have decided to do and how you should interpret your fortune of believing in what you believe. But if that's the case, you also can end up believing that you can't do anything. You got to wait, because it's all a belief. So move on, move your ass, build yourself. If you believe in your God, then you have to appreciate the opportunities that's been given to you. And believing, it doesn't mean you should sit on your ass and wait for that God to give you stuff. It's not a charity. Move on. Your God has created the food at the end of the line, but you got to do the fucking running to get to that distance where the food is. You can't say, well, you know, the food should come here. No, you got to do the running. So go do the running. And he says, I think and think, but can't work and unable to sleep. How should one overcome it? I just told you. I hope that you will take that to heart and start moving your ass and believing in yourself. Not just believing in God, believe in yourself also. You can do it. Go do things that brings you that wonderful life that you think it should be given to you because you believe in God. No, that may be one part of it. The rest is up to you. Get off your ass. Go make it happen. And then your God will be pleased of you if that's what you believe. If that's what you believe, which means you will be pleased because these are all your own creation. And sometimes when you create a God and you believe in God, which is a good motivation for you to be a better person and live a better life and accomplish more good things, it also makes you lazy because then you expect your God give you everything. That's not supposed to be an excuse for you to do nothing and not become a better person. It's supposed to be a motivation to become a better human being. So use that imagination, use that image of God, what you tend to have faith in, and strive to become as good and perfect as that what you worship is, even though you won't reach perfection, but at least you can move in that direction and make a better person out of yourself. That's why you believe in something. That's why you will have faith in it. Otherwise, just having faith because, oh, everybody does it and I should have a faith because you want to pay a ransom in order to get something. So I have faith. But when you have faith, you got to move your ass. And with that faith, go and get what you want. Have a nice evening. Roop. Atul says, sorry sir, here it is. I told wrong information about me, like my name, education. Okay, you didn't kill anybody. Okay, just say sorry. If she wants that, take that explanation and apology, then good. If she doesn't, then fuck it, move on. You haven't killed anybody. You made a mistake and you're willing to say, I apologize. And if by this time, all she's thinking about is your education and your name, that's what she likes you? All this time that you guys been interacting, she didn't get to know you? If she likes you, she likes you. But you're telling me, by telling her your real name and your education, then she doesn't like you. That means she doesn't like you as you are. She likes the title or whatever it is that you lied about. And that makes her disqualified, no good. You lied, so you lied. You made a bad mistake. You apologize. But you're still the same person that she liked. Now that you tell her these new information, she suddenly doesn't like you anymore, thinks that you're no longer good. Why? Nothing changed, only the title and the education title change. That means she's not looking for a good person. She's looking for some status that your education, you probably told her, I don't know, you're a fucking doctor or some kind of a, whatever it is that you think she wanted to hear. And for that, she came to you. So that means she was what? Looking for her own advantage in life. Maybe a gold digger, but in title. Yeah? Hoping for, oh yeah, doctor, so he will have a good life for me. But now, you being a good person and she likes you as who you are, but she still likes the title better. So that means fuck it. She's no qualified. Even though you said something wrong, you apologize. If she accepts and builds a relationship with you, then that's good. If she doesn't, well, you're lucky day because you just found out that she is not qualified. You did something wrong, but she's also doing, you know, fuck ups too. So move on, no big deal. Fakhir says 26 male, Pakistan. Thank you for observing the protocol and letting me know the information ahead of time, Fakhir. He says, sir, how to forgive the ex completely after a long-term relationship followed by a breakup based on her cheating? Who the fuck are you that you think you gotta forgive her? She should forgive herself. She's going to live with that herself. If she's okay with it, why aren't you? Because you're only thinking that your ego has been tarnished. Come, bow to me, make me feel good, because I am ego. Somebody cheated on me. They cheated on me. Come and kneel. Apologize. What the fuck is that? Live your life. So she cheated and she's not a qualified person for you. That's it. What do you need? Move on. Live your life. You just found out she's not good for you because she cheated. Doesn't meet your standards. Okay. What do you need to forgive her? What's that for? To make yourself feel good? I have forgiven you because I am very high and mighty. What? Live your life. Don't have an image. You're after protecting your image. You have an image of yourself and she cheated on you, and now you feel, oh, somebody else is better than me because she cheated on me, because your worth and value is in her vagina. That's what you think. You think your worth and value is in her. What she chooses makes you good, more valuable, or not good and less valuable. This is how you think of yourself. So your problem is in you. By forgiving her, or she does this or does that, doesn't evaluate you. You can evaluate yourself. You can elevate yourself. And you have forgotten that it is you who's the boss of you. You should be able to give your value, not based on who cheated on you or who doesn't, or who you will forgive to feel good about yourself. No, you should feel good about yourself anyhow, because what she has done is not a reflection on you. It's a reflection on her. So move on. Be happy. Enjoy your life. Your manhood is not tied out to what she does. She does something that is not good, you say goodbye. That's it. You're not supposed to sit down and cry. Move on. You haven't done anything wrong. Move. Fakir says, now I'm in a new relationship after 4 months breakup, and new girl is everything I was looking for in a girl, but the memories of the past still haunts, and I try to forgive my ex every day and I get angry. What the fuck? I just told you the answer. Forgive who? Are you wasting your time on someone who wasn't good for you, right for you, and you have the jewel right beside you, as you say, you love her, you like her, she's great, and you're missing that, and you're gonna fuck this up too, and she's gonna leave you, and you're gonna say, no, I gotta forgive her because she was good and I was good, but she left me. Open your eyes, move with the reality, move with the moment, live with the now. She's there. Focus on her, pay attention to her. Forget about that jackass who cheated on you. Forget that. That's gone. That's all the reason you don't want to think about her. Because it's not about your quality, it's about her quality. Why would you care what she does or what she doesn't, what she did? What she did told you that she wasn't good enough. That's all you should look at it. That's it. Bye-bye. Next, you go to your girlfriend and enjoy your life with her. Stop thinking about nonsense that has nothing to do with your life. No, forgiving is not the key. You don't have to forgive anybody. You just have to understand what it is and simply take good care of yourself and move on. That's it. Bye-bye. No more talk about this. Go live with your girlfriend and enjoy your life. You don't owe anybody anything. You don't have to forgive her either. Now, Jesse says, maybe it's possible for you to type a comment like, remember, gender, age, location before I answer questions. Yeah, that's a good idea. And make it stick to the top to everyone's sees it. Don't know if that's possible. Yeah, it is. Of course it is. Yeah. In my first comment, instead of saying, you know, or when I say, hello everyone, with a smile, I can also say that. And eventually when people see that I'm not answering them, that's why you're not answering my question. Then I'll say, look up the first line. It tells you why. Your question is missing the qualifying factors. It's a good idea, Jesse. I'll take that. I'll do that. Okay, now, first last says, He left me after getting a job. Now he is with his new girlfriend, 5th girlfriend. He said, you can't support me because you don't have a job. This new girl can make me more happy. Feel betrayed, used. Well, I can understand what you're saying. Annie, I think. Yeah, Annie. She says, then I felt bad, was angry, so I told his new GF about his all bad things. You devious you. His new GF is sweet and innocent. I don't have any problem with her. I respect her. I wanted to tell her about him. He didn't believe me. First Last says, while breaking up, he said, I can manipulate any girl on this planet, and believed like a womanizer after. Then it serves him right. He shouldn't have let that kind of shit come out of his mouth. Anybody who wants to manipulate another person, whether it's a man manipulating a woman, whether it's a woman manipulating man, they're just scumbags. When you start manipulating something, this total fucking dishonest thing you can do. How can you even enjoy? Look, if you have money in your pocket, if you're not hungry, dying from hunger, or need food for your family and you can't afford it, if you have money in your pocket and you still go steal a watermelon, how the fuck can you actually enjoy that watermelon when you know you're a thief? You stole that, but you could afford it. It's not like you were dying from hunger and your family was need for food and they're dying from hunger. I can understand that. But not when you have money in your pocket. So you intentionally go manipulate a woman or manipulate someone for your own pleasures. You just deserve to be an asshole all your life, because that's probably what you are. You do not manipulate. You ask, you negotiate, you communicate, you extend care, attention, love. You see if it's consensual, what you're going to gain. Not through lies and manipulations and so on. If you cannot respect the right of the other person, you cannot expect them to respect your right. Start it on the right foot. Best foot forward. And you will never regret. Because even if you do your best and they don't, you will never regret, because it's all about you. And you will always remember that you did it right. And if they didn't do it right, they did it wrong, it's not your problem. You will always remember that. You will always feel good. So step forward, best foot forward, do it right, you will never regret. Now, so even though you shouldn't meddle with other people's life, but that was okay. You know, you told her and you told her, good for you. Now, move on with your life and enjoy your life. Don't give a damn about that guy. Now, let's go back to where we were. Oh, First Last hasn't finished it. First Last says, I don't want him back, but I wanna kill his overconfidence. He is so confident that he always says that he can hypnotize any girl with his psychological animality. He's bullshit. He's full of shit. He's full of shit, and move away from him and don't bother with him at all. He's an idiot. He's an asshole. So that's all I have to say about that. Now let's go to next. Alexandra says, hi sir, so glad to see you. Yes, Alexandra, and thank you for your message. And here we are. Hope you're well, dear. Roman, male 31 from Israel, and he says, hello Mehran. Hello Roman. Nice to see your live stream again, but I missed again 40 minutes of a stream. It's okay, I will upload it as soon as it's finished. The recording will be there. And nowadays they have fixed the system as I explained it to YouTube, and now you can see all the questions running on the side of a of the upload of the recording of the live stream, and so you will have a more real feeling of the live stream while it's a recording. So he says, how are you doing? Good, dear, I'm fine. Thank you for your wisdom, sir. I have been watching all your videos. I'm glad, Roman, that you're enjoying them. And Roman says, Mehran Agha, sir, I think it is a nice discussion and topic to cut for a short video, but God that you have, about God that you have discussed. Yeah, probably I will. But, you know, it is a sensitive subject, so I try to be balance it by it being productive notations rather than introducing total annihilation of the idea. But it should be taken with grain of salt. One cannot leave everything to his faith or his belief or his God. One must understand that God is also part of the universe that you've created to choose to motivate you and to be able to pull yourself into a higher level of morality and echelons of humanity, to separate yourself from that violence that we all come from, that the viciousness, the violence, the aggressiveness, the savagery of what human being started out for, and to this day is still operates on that level and no better than 40,000 years ago. And that's the tragedy. So let not thought of anything, including a God, mislead you to continue certain inhumane values in the name of so-called faith, and help us to focus more on humanity and camaraderie, the fact that we are all the same and we have the same needs, facing the same challenges, and become united in being a good human being regardless of our religions, gods, looks, shapes, skin colors, whatever else that could be a reason for some people to bring differences among us. Race, color, creed, nothing should separate human being from the ultimate goal to become a better human being, to create a better world, a softer world, more tranquil, safer for all of us. All of us must understand we operate based on fear, based on lack of humanity, not because we're powerful. The more killings and harm we bring to the others, the weaker we all become. And the further we get from that high level of humanity and becoming one with the love of the universe, or what you call, some of you, the love of whatever it is that created you, the love of Creator. So if we want to reach there, then focus on the basics, which is become more loving human being, caring about others and each other. Now, having said what we needed to say, moving on. Maria Arva. Maria says, my BF broke up with me, telling me he wasn't okay with the relationship for about 6 months. He wasn't okay with the relationship for about 6 months, or he broke up with you for 6 months. Or for the first 6 months, he said he wasn't okay with the relationship. You see, it's quite a different interpretations. And she says, I don't believe him. Everything was normal. Oh, I see, okay. And he got pretty angry to see me being okay with the split. I see. He broke up with you for 6 months. and he was pissed off because you were okay with it. Well, that's his problem. It was pretty sudden, in my opinion. I thought we had a great relationship. I see. All right. Albert says, by the way, I'm female 22. Okay. And where are you tuning in from, Maria? And where's the rest of the question? And Maria continues, I know I dodged a bullet because he also has lots of personal problems, like addictions. Okay, that's the deal breaker. But I find myself feeling nervous all day. Why? Why? Missing the relation I thought I had. Well, that's where the key is. Focus on what you just said. You're missing the relationship you thought you had. That's what you're missing. You're not missing the relationship that you had. You're missing the relationship you thought you had, but you didn't have that. It wasn't all about that. It wasn't what you thought it was. So therefore, in fact, you're missing an illusory relationship that you had created in your mind about the relationship between the image you had of yourself in your mind and the image you had of the guy in your mind. These two images were having a relationship, but it wasn't really the relationship that you were envisioning it. It was something else. And that something else is what you should focus, not the imagery, not the elusive relationship that you were imagining in, that you were in it. When you distinguish these two, you'll be fine, because you will notice you're missing something that never existed. It was all bullshit, and therefore you certainly did dodge the bullet. And you go celebrate. You go celebrate. Enjoy your life. What you're nervous for? It's no different than saying, you know, I stepped on a piece of shit in the street, and you know, I washed my shoes, now it's clean, but I miss that feeling of shit sticking to my feet. Why? Because you walked 100 feet before you got to water to wash it. You got used to that feeling of that shit on your shoes. It's exaggeration, but I want you to understand, you can get used to something bad, something that is not good or pleasant. You can get used to it, and because that getting used to it bring a certain kind of a mechanical process, and that mechanical process creates a certain order in your mind, and that's where your mind finds refuge, finds home in the order. And that order, even though it was bad but was an order, brought you security. And that's why you're nervous, because you don't have the order that was actually made from shit, from bad things. But you got used to it. You got conditioned. And you're missing that conditioning, that order. Not the shit. The order that was created through the shit. But you're not focusing on the shit. You're focusing on the order. Things had order. A mechanical process was in place from the moment you would wake up in the morning. You were doing certain things, and those certain things were bringing you a certain order in life, even though that whole mechanic process and order was created with the influence of the shit sticking into your life. But it nevertheless, it was an order, and you're missing the order, the conditioning, not the actual shit that you were dealing with, because even that you were noticing it, because you had created an illusory relationship in your mind about whatever it was that you were going through, based on your need, based on what you wanted to have, to feel you have a complete life. You had created that shitty relationship into some okay, good relationship, because that's what you needed. You wanted that in order to feel good about yourself. And then you got used to that, what was making you feel good about yourself, the illusory thing, which was made out of shit. But then you got used to the order that it was creating, and that's what you're missing. Now, these are all stuff that you guys can ponder on and become good at it. And if you're really enjoying this conversation and these points, which are pretty fine-tuned to help you learn about your psyche, go on my site, mindthatseekstruth.com, and acquire the book, Me, My Psyche, and I. I want you all to have a copy. And as you all know, and I've said it 100 times, the print books are expensive, $80 to $100. And because I know it's expensive for most of you, I have invested and created the same books into ebooks. And the $100 is now $5.99. So that's not for my benefit, because there's really nothing in it. When PayPal gets their cut and marketing costs are coming out, there's shit in it. So I want you to, if that bothers you for me to get rich, don't worry about that. But I want you to go and get Me, My Psyche, and I from my site, mindthatseekstruth.com, and have that on your library. It's not a book that you should read from page 1 to page 360. It's a book that every chapter, it's on its own. You can choose different chapters depending on your mood, your interest on that day, and enjoy a short chapter of some wisdom or some things about you, your psyche, how you're put together, and how to better negotiate your day-to-day life. So, don't forget, Me, My Psyche, and I highly recommend it. Now, going to next, Maria says, thank you for your live stream. You're welcome, Maria. Click on the like, guys, before you guys forget. David's says, Mehran is on a tear today, lol. I love it, huh? What do you mean? I'm on a tear today. What the hell do you mean on that? Maybe that's a word I'm not familiar with. Yeah, that's right. That's right, you got it. I sure am. I'm on a tear today, and I'm going to tear you guys apart if you don't shape up. That's my job. Yeah, Jesse, it was actually very called for. I thought the same. I'm laughing. Yeah, I know. While I was actually in the zone, I was feeling the same. All right. Maria says, last thing. What, you're doing a Colombo on me? You guys remember the series Colombo? He would ask the person that he was suspecting of some kind of a, concern, and then after a grilling back and forth simple questions, then he would say, okay, I'll leave you to it. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. And just as the guy was relaxing, that the pressure is off, and Colombo was leaving, the Inspector Colombo was leaving, he would turn around and says, but wasn't that you who killed the guy in that scene of the movie? So just as I thought Maria is done with me, she turns around and says, last thing. He admitted using me and faking everything for the 6 months. Oh, really? Faking everything? So guys now fake orgasm? Is that what he means? Who does that? Only an asshole does that. What do you want me to say, Maria? Can't believe him, as he was very good during that time. Look, are you being silly, Maria? Do you not even remember your own knowledge? Was it you or somebody else who said that he thinks he can manipulate others? Anyhow, maybe I'm mixing up questions. But understand that that is this sick way of trying to create a question in your mind by feeling important, by putting you down. Remember, we said there are 2 ways to have the tallest building in town. One is to destroy all other buildings. Chisel them out and bring them down. Because by bringing down other buildings, then your building, no matter how high or low it is, will seem the tallest building. But you didn't create a tallest building, you just destroyed other buildings. That's one way. And the other one is to keep building your own building and keep making it taller. Now, he's incapable of building his own building on his own merit and efforts. His specialty is to bring doubt in your mind about yourself and trying to create a situation where it can crumble your image so his image would seem higher in your mind. Don't fall for that. He's full of shit. So don't believe in that. Believe in yourself, and that everything you did was good, and that 6 months, he's just simply a liar if he says that. he was probably a coward to begin with and is a coward now. Because you never talk like this when you had a good relationship, even for 2 days or 6 months, and then turn around, want to hurt that person by lying that it was this and that. Anyhow, who cares if he thinks it was good or bad? Whatever. If it wasn't good and he stuck with it, then he's a real weak person that he actually hung in there and pretending that it was good, which means he needed that. Now that his need is over, he's coward enough not to say thank you, and instead he wants to devalue it to make it like he didn't need you. That's the way some people are, weak to the core. Now, Billy Hulk says, hello Mehran, I am Bill, 21, and I come from Greece. Been through breakup. Okay, join the club. Congratulations, because that's the first step to become a man. You must have breakups. Now I feel better. I'm practicing being as present as possible so I can enjoy simplicity in life. And says what you and Eckhart T inspired me. Oh, I see. Okay. And then he continues, says, even so, I have a guilty feeling that I should be setting goals, though I prefer to not do it for now. This makes me think that living the present is just a defense mechanism. Who says living in the present means not set goals? Who the fuck said that? So that means living in present means don't go to school, don't research. Because that's really what you're saying. Having goals, setting goals, following your dreams, preparing to build your dreams, achieve and attain your dreams, have nothing to do with living in presence. In fact, if you don't live in presence, you can never have goals, achieve your goals, attain your goals, set goals. You have to live in present to set the goals. So it's mutually inclusive. Understand it. I don't know who said living in present means say fuck all to everything else. That's misunderstanding. Living present means be alert. Be alert, pay full attention for what it is that you're dealing with, and what it is that you want to accomplish, what it is that you want to make a difference in, and plan for it, design it, and then every moment make it to be part of your life in order to move it forward and then achieve and bring about that result, wonderful result that you wanted. But being in the moment means attend to it bit by bit. Don't deviate from it. Don't forget it. Stay with it. Don't let things to deviate you, to misdirect you from what it is that you want to be focused on. That's what it's supposed to mean. Not that living in the moment means just go get high and don't work, don't do anything because I'm with the moment. If I work there, I'm not with the moment. No. Everything that you do, be with a moment in that what you're doing. Be with it. Pay full attention to that. Which in Aikido we learned years ago. Over 40 years ago, which the principle of it and the art was coming over 1,000 years ago. Talking about keeping present by understanding where mind and body both are focused. That is being present. Keeping one point. Keeping focus on the point that mind and body both are focused on. That brings the totality of attention and unification of the mind and body, which is how we are living, represented in this life. Mind and body coordinated gives you the power. If you guys haven't seen the little excerpt that I've taken out from the seminar I did at the local university talking about the end of fear, in which I discussed the role of thoughts, role of time, role of and their role in creating fear, and in which, by trying to show the power of mind and power of thought, I did an exercise, a demonstration that someone bigger than me, I asked this student, which was much bigger than me, to come and help me to demonstrate something, demonstrating the power of mind, power of thoughts in being present or not being present. When you are present, fully focused through coordination of your mind and body with the moment of life that you're in, then you achieve a certain powers that you could not achieve it if you were distracted, and if you were in your memory, or if you were in the past and not present in the moment of your life. And you got to watch that piece. I've shortened out to 59 seconds, so I have put it on Instagram as well. And in that 59 seconds, which I'm going to actually load it up when this is uploaded, I'm going to put that card in there so you can click on it and see it. In the meantime, it's called The End of Fear. I have different version of it. A full version of the seminar is about 45-50 minutes. It's called The End of Fear. It's on my channel. And there's a 12-minute version of it, and there's a 5-minute version of it. There's a 1 minute and 35-second version of it, and then there's a 59-second version of it. Depending on your interest and your attention span, go find it now if you like after this, or wait until this is uploaded and I'll put the card there. You will see why being in presence, it doesn't just do that, being present and doing the best that you can do in whatever it is that you're trying to do. It also creates a tremendous amount of power that you never dreamed you could have it. That's the result. What you're going to be seeing in that little excerpt is the result of having mind and body coordinated, which is the same as being in the present, but I'm showing it in a different way for you to realize how important it is to be in the present, and what else other than being in the present does for you in relation to your existence and mind and body coordination when you want to negotiate your daily affairs. All right, let me see the minute here. I don't know what the minute is, so I will put it in that minute so you will see it on the rerun, or go and find it on the channel, the ones that I talk to, the videos that I talk to, and see it there. Now, Billy continues that I am gonna regret later on cause I lose time from building the better me. And he talks about, I'm sorry? That makes me think that living the present is just a defense mechanism that I'm gonna regret later on cause I lose from building. No. I explained to you already. You misunderstood that. Whoever said that was full of shit. So that's not something that is true. Being in the present doesn't mean to forget about your duties and responsibilities and don't plan and don't do anything. What, live with the seat of your pants? That's not what it's supposed to mean. I explained it to you, so you now probably understand. I already answered that question. And Billy says, I'm aware of the contradiction there is, but the feeling of guilt is too strong. And he continues, says, also sometimes I avoid to think positive thoughts to avoid thinking generally, cause that I perceive as living in the future. The motive is that I will find a fulfillment in the future and not now. You know, you want to build a building, you have to have a plan to build that high rise, and you got to continue building it to finish it. But thinking about finishing it is not a sin toward being in present. You are doing what you're doing in order to make it better, and that better is in the future. But there is no such thing as future that is waiting for you, because when it's a future, when it's tomorrow, it's today, it's present again. So it's always present. Present is where it's at. So even if you're thinking about when the high rise is finished, you will be in the present when it's finished. So you're working toward the present of the finished high-rise. Not that if you think about the finished high-rise, that means you're no longer in present. You are using the motivation of completing this in doing the best you can at the present moment that you're engaged in accomplishing a certain task. Has nothing to do with what you're interpreting. You're overthinking this whole thing. Is not what is supposed to be. You can be focused on what you're doing, do the best you can at a given time. That's living in the present. And when I explained to you, when you look at the video that I told you about, they understand the relationship with mind and body and relationship between being one with the present moment and how that will come about and what being one with the moment really means in the real sense when you focus on that video and what is trying to show you on that video. So this thinking about your aspirations and hopes, that is not necessarily taking you away from living in the present. It just tells you how important it is to be in the present in order to do the best job you can about what it is that you're involved doing, so you can get that what you have planned accomplished in the best quality and possible way, and sooner, if that is what you're hoping to do. Now, I hope that would be something to help you out in understanding that. Billy. Excalibur says, who does that? Only an asshole does that. Maria, what do you want me to say? Okay. Mehran, I'm in tears laughing. Okay, keep laughing. Oh, did I skip your question? Really? You feel betrayed? Let me go back and find you. Find your... Oh, there it is. Excalibur says, oh my God, Mehran. Dropped 4,000 bomb. It's more... Okay. Was that it? That wasn't the question. Oh, there's a question. Oh, there it is a question. Oh, yeah. That's a big question. Where is it? Excalibur says, hola, Mehran. Missed you and hope you're doing well. Where have you been? My flight is soon and I've been having nightmares non-stop. It's like my brain is 100% convinced the planet is crashed. What you're smoking? Am I reading from the middle of your sentence question? Because I don't get it. What's crashing? I need some kind of Mehran answer to calm my mind. Okay, shoot the question first. Let's see where's the question. Excalibur says one more thing. Where's the question? I gotta go back all the way. I don't see a question. I don't see a question. One more thing. The reason statistics and typical fear of flying. Oh, you're flying. Oh, the flying is the problem. The reason statistics and the typical fear of flying answers don't work with me is because they meant nothing to the people who believed them and ended up crashing. That's how my brain works on this issue. P.S. I can't stop laughing at your answer telling someone who asked to move their ass and not wait for their goal by their girl. God, lol. Okay. Let me see. I think I know where your question is. I'm going to answer it, but let's see. All right. I think your question is you're afraid of flying. Just give me a nudge there that you. This is what your question is. You want me to address your fear of flying? Is that what you're trying to say? I think that's what you mean. Okay. Hola, I miss you. My flight is soon and I've been having nightmares non-stop. It's my brain. Okay, all right. All right. Convince the plane. Oh, the plane will crash. Oh, okay. All right. Now listen up, Jack. Listen good. And I mean it with love. you don't see the air molecules when you look at it. It's not like when you look at the ocean and you see the water molecule. You can see the water. You can see the substance. That's what we are accustomed. We're conditioned to believe what we can see. We believe what we can see exists and what we don't see doesn't exist. So that's why for you, it's difficult for you to realize that there is substance in what you're looking at in the sky, even though you don't see anything, and it's infinite field of vision open. But just like water, when you put the ship on, why the ship doesn't go in the water? Yeah, it's because of the shape that it's built, yes, but also why does it have a resistance even if the shape wasn't? There's a resistance. There's a substance that shape should cut through in order to sink, right? There's a gravity, but that the way a shape of something is made, it stops the gravity. It doesn't let that substance to break apart and allow it to comply with the rule of gravity and then sink into the ocean. That's why the ships don't sink, and you're okay with that. You're okay to go on a ship and take a ship ride, ocean cruiser ride, a ride on an ocean cruiser, because you can see the water and you can sense it. I can see it, therefore I can believe it exists, it's there, and I can see why it won't. Then I don't care about how it doesn't sink, as long as I can see it's water, obviously, and this is floating on water, and you can see it's floating. But the air, you can't see its substance. Then you forget about the same principle that exists with the ship and the water. That's why it doesn't sink. And there's the same principle that the airplane is made in a shape that the substance of air that it's actually residing on, negotiating it with, just like ship negotiating the water, and because of this shape, it doesn't allow it to sink. Gravity doesn't work anymore because of the characteristics of the water and the design of the ship. It's simply gravity is null. It doesn't go. Same thing happens because of the design and the shape that the airplanes are created, the wings and the hull and everything. Then it interacts with the substance of the air, regardless if you can see it or not. That is beside the point. The fact has nothing to do with what you can or cannot see. It's there. The air has presence, has existence, has substance, and that substance interacts with the design of the wing and the hull of the aircraft, plus the difference between the air pressure under the wing and the air pressure that is created over the wing, and the air pressure from under is higher, therefore it keeps it high. There's no fucking way this thing can fall down if the engines are working. Even if the engines don't work, listen to this, even if the engines don't work, this thing doesn't crash. It glides because that's the way it is designed to behave. That shape and design to the air, that's the only way it is designed to behave. It cannot. Why? Because look at the birds. How do you think they're flying? If they can fly with their fucking useless wing, and they fly so high, then you can imagine that the aircraft with an engine that is goddamn thousands of horsepowers in there, and the design of the wing, which is far bigger than the eagle, and everything else about it, it can certainly be safer than flying on the back of a bloody eagle, because it can't take your weight. But the way they have designed it in relation to air, it simply nullifies gravity. The air is just not allowing the airplane to fall. The very thing that you can't see, the very thing that the aircraft is flying in it, is stopping the aircraft from falling, because there is a substance and it's riding on that substance. It's no different than walking on concrete. The concrete doesn't let you fall through because of the gravity, because there's a substance. The water doesn't let the ship fall through because of its substance and its design. But you don't see the air and you think there's no substance. Same rule applies, but on different design and different way of negotiating with that design of the aircraft that is flying on it. But the rules of it is the same, and that's exactly why it will not fall unless it's, I don't know, this, you know, breaks down by something hard hitting it of the same nature. And hardly aircrafts collide these days because they're all got so many redundancies on radars and finding each other in the air, and there's so many regulations. I remember the first lesson I got in becoming towards getting my pilot license. It was, I went up with the Cessna 174, and my teacher was a fighter pilot of the World War II in German Luftwaffe. And we went up, and I noticed that it was my first flight. I noticed that he's going into clouds and all kinds of things. And so, and we couldn't see anything, but he was just going up and down, this way, that way. So when we came down, I asked him, I said, well, how did you know that there is no other, you know, aircraft in the clouds? We couldn't see anything. What you were doing? He says, because there are regulations of a certain elevation is for certain kind of planes, and certain other elevations. So, for example, commercial aircrafts cannot be at the 4,000 feet or above sea level. They should be at a certain different kind of elevation. So therefore, I knew there is no other. Of course, I asked him, how did you know there's no other school aircraft which is supposed to be in the same? He said, well, I didn't. I was hoping you would. So you can be sure with the technology today, which is different than the plane that I flew, I piloted, they know exactly on which lane. It's like highway. They each know which lane something else is in it, so they can't go in there. So aircrafts can see which elevation, which line that they're flying, which elevation that they're flying in, if there's something else on that or not. The other plane would be 1,000 feet or 2,000 feet lower or higher, or more, or maybe 10,000, or 3,000 feet higher or lower. So these mechanisms, and also the radar, can clearly, for I don't know, hundreds and hundreds of miles, if not 1,000 miles, allows them to see what's out there, alongside of them, in front of them, behind them, over them, lower them. It's all visible. Plus the communication and all the towers on the way of traveling, they are feeding all this information and perfecting it as they go. So you really got nothing to think about but simply enjoying your mind. It is your mind that creates all that. If you leave it to technology, you have a better chance to enjoy. There's less chance of the technology failing than your blessed brain failing right now. And that's what's happening. So relax and enjoy the flight, and make sure you get the aisle seat. That's all I have to say about that. Reason why, in some other programs. It's not about safety. It's about enjoyment. So relax. All right, all right. Let's see, where are we? Have everybody clicked on the like? So let's go back to where we are. First, last says, thanks for your guidance. Stay blessed and keep guiding immature, emotional people like us. Don't worry. We all gone through the same thing, so don't worry about that. We're all at one time immature, and then we become mature to know that we're still immature. So now that I've answered Excalibur and he's clear that I've answered his question, Maria says, haha, I really appreciate what you said. I really needed it. Sometimes silly me forget he's an asshole. Yes, good for you. Focus on that. Focus on your life, for God's sake. Don't waste your times on these things, guys. Life is short. Enjoy every moment of your life, and be responsible and do your best to bring quality in your life. Excalibur says, yes, you're right. Not only I'm not afraid of a cruise ship, I actually enjoy them greatly. Yes. And he says, I agree, and I'm familiar with everything you said. The main issue I have is the people who crashed also heard the same thing before their flight. Yeah, true. But you know, unfortunately, there are some cars that have crashed into people too. But that doesn't mean that everybody who walks across the street is going to be hit by a car. It's just one of these things that things can happen. But on that note, you can also go further and say, well, you know that people die, so you're afraid of living because eventually at the end one dies. So you can go nuts with all this kind of thinking. Just forget all that shit. Focus on enjoying your life. Focus on the fact that you're doing your best. You're not going on a sleazy, shitty, old, 100-year-old airplane. You've done your best to pick a good, technologically advanced aircraft of today, and that's all the best you can do. The rest of it, look, if I had the powers to make things like that to be under my control, I would have done lots of things differently in this world. But we're not, right? So we can only do our best, and you've done your best. So relax and enjoy. And Excalibur says, damn, you have a pilot license, Mehran? Haha, no, I don't have a license. I was going for my license, but eventually I was very young. I mean, I was younger, and it was too expensive. So, you know, I did fly a bunch of time, and I, you know how to fly it. And I've also wanted to learn how to parachute, and I've done that as well. And so I don't have a license, a pilot license, but I did get training through one of the best pilots that could, you know, could have enough experience to know a lot more than some regular pilots around. And he says, I have virtual one because I pass every single test in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Oh, good then. Then you should know that everything is okay. Maria says, you are a remarkable person. I think I'll buy your book. Oh, okay, Maria, you better. And believe me, that's for you, not for me. Because, as I mentioned, my whole intention is everybody to own one. And they're pleasant pieces, written very simply. I don't write sophisticated, and I explain things, and so many different chapters, all short chapters, and interesting stuff. You can just choose according to your mood different chapters at any time. They're not story to read them one after the other, and then you will eventually see, yeah, there are things that will help you to ponder and enjoy having a cup of tea and relaxing when you're in the mood for research and learning more stuff. Excalibur says, I picked the Airbus A3. Oh, what a good plane. A380, you know, the biggest plane in the world. Yeah, it's a great aircraft. So listen, focus on enjoying that beautiful experience. Just fly with it. Don't be left behind. Fly with it in your body and mind. Okay, guys, looks like that we have hit all the questions, and once again we have come through with our enjoyment of sharing this opinion. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share these opinions and ideas and talks with you, and I love you all, and hope you take good care of yourselves, and in the meantime I look forward to talk to you again, and perhaps tomorrow. And be good to yourself, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.